are the scripts that you want to use to get your leads to book into an appointment. When people pay, they pay attention. This is all really important to getting them to show up. This was one of our big innovations that increased our show up rate to like 90%. This is literally worth hundreds of thousands of dollars giving it away for free. 30% more leads and more appointments for free. It's like you just turn one lead into 5.
Asking those questions is the thing that most niches skip.
The system works. I'm the one that needs to level up. This is the hardest piece of the puzzle, and it will take some time, but if you solve this problem, you will make a lot of money. Day 4 of the 0 to 100K a month agency workshop. Today, we're going to go over how to make your clients money, how to turn leads into appointments and from appointments into sales. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I know all of you guys are here ready to go all in, ready to dominate, ready to win. So we're going to make it happen. Today, we're going to talk about how to generate appointments through calling them and through texting them. Now, few things to keep in mind. Calling is king. A lot of you guys want to set appointments for your clients via text because it's easier, because it's more comfortable. Guess what? In life, most things are more comfortable tend to get worse results. It's more comfortable for me to eat pizza and get fat than it is to get my ass to the fucking gym. Things that are easier tend to get less results. So the best way to turn your clients' leads into appointments and appointments into closes is to call them. Calling is king. Now, few things to keep in mind. With our clients, we called the leads within 5 minutes and we had them call at least 10 times. So we had them call twice a day for 5 days straight. That was our protocol. Twice a day, 5 days straight. Twice a day, 5 days straight. 10 times. If they pick up, skip the texting. If they don't pick up, then that's when texting can come into play and help you get that conversation started. I'm going to give you guys 2 calling scripts that work very, very well, an advanced one and a more basic one. I'm going to also show you guys how you can take payment on the phone to increase the show up rate. So when you're calling the leads, these are the scripts that you want to use to get your leads to book into an appointment. There's an advanced one that goes a little bit deeper, and there's a simpler one that cuts right to the chase. They're both good. I highly recommend just mastering the advanced one. So let's jump right in. Let's say that John opts in for the ad for the new patient special, like Isaac showed you guys last week. Remember, he showed you guys all the different discount offers that you could run. We would essentially say, "Hi, John. This is Dr. Wise with Wise Regenerative Medicine. I saw you requested an appointment in our office for a free consultation for your knee pain. Do you have time for a few questions about the issue you're looking to fix?" So I'm literally calling them and cutting right to the chase. They're going to say, "Yeah." You say, "All right, great." Then you're going to go into some survey questions. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on? On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is the knee pain? What else have you tried to fix it? What is the pain holding you back from doing right now? Are you looking for a solution to permanently fix the pain? And after going through the survey questions, you're going to end with this question. How soon are you wanting to fix this? As long as they're like, "I want to fix it now," and they're not like, "I don't really need to do this," you're going to say, "Great. So based on what you answered, we definitely think that you're a great fit. Now, we definitely need to get you in the office before the voucher for a free consultation expires in 5 days, as these vouchers are only available to people like you that really need it. They're ready to commit now to fixing their pain. Does that sound fair?" Now you have urgency. This is all really important to getting them to show up. Most of you guys are just scheduling the appointment, but you're not actually emotionally connecting with them, figuring out why they want to do this, figuring out why it's important for them to do it now, creating urgency, letting them know, "Hey, you need to schedule within the next 5 days, and here's why." And then afterwards, let's say they say, "Sounds fair." They say, "Yes, awesome. We have an opening on this date and this time. Which one works best for you?" At that point, you get them scheduled. If you want to take payment for the appointment, this was one of our big innovations that pretty much increased our show up rate to like 90%. Like we had a crazy high show up rate for all of our clients' leads because we took payment before the appointment. Here's how we would do it. Great. So we have you scheduled for this date, this time. The last step is to put down a fully refundable $25 security deposit for the voucher to secure your spot. Once you come in for your appointment, we will fully refund you the $25. So it's 100% free as long as you make it to your appointment. This will ensure us of 2 things. Number 1, you're serious about using this voucher. And number 2, we don't want to lose out on this offer because the spot was taken by someone who ended up not showing. It's just not fair to us or others. Does that sound good? You're going to say yes, then you take the payment. So wonderful. We're all set for Wednesday at 3:30. And then before I go, would any of your friends or family like to take advantage of this offer also? So you're asking for referrals at the very end. If yes, get their names, try to get them scheduled in. If not, no worries at all. We'll see you on Wednesday at 3:30. So here's why this script works extremely well. Let me break it down. A lead opts in, they get a call. The first thing is I cut right to the chase. I'm like, "Hey, John, this is like they signed up." So I'm like, "Hey, this is Dr. Wise with Wise Regenerative Medicine. So I requested an appointment in our office for a free consultation for your knee pain. Do you have time for a few questions about the issue you're looking to fix?" So I cut right to the chase and I get them into discovery mode. It's just like the intro call script that I showed you guys for sales for your agency, but you're doing it for sales for their business. It's all the same shit at the end of the day. And then guess what? Instead of having a demo presentation, they literally do a in-person presentation. Like, let's say you're a roofer. What does the roofer do? He goes to your house and he walks around. He says, hey, based on everything that I'm seeing, here's the solutions. And he presents the solutions. It's the same shit. So here's also why it works so well. We actually dive in and go deep on like, why do they want to do this? What's holding them back from doing it right now? Like, are you looking for a long-term solution? Then we go into some time urgency. How soon are you wanting to fix this? And then we take payment. So what happens is when you take payment, they take it way more seriously. So I know you guys are amazing. You're here and I'm giving this all away for free, but most of the time, the rule is when people pay, they pay attention. And when people pay more, they pay more attention. If you guys wired me $100,000 before this call today, you would be literally glued to the screen, making sure that every single word that comes out of my mouth is fully registered in your brain. Because you invested so much, there's just more skin in the game. So here's how you're going to do it. If the offer is a free consult, you take a security deposit that's refundable. If the offer is a $21 adjustment, for example, you just take the $21 for the first appointment. If you're let's say your niche is like real estate or roofing or things like that, you wouldn't do a payment, but you would still follow everything else. So for example, hi, John, this is Joel with Denver Realtors. I saw you requested, let's say they wanted to sell their house. I saw you put in some information about potentially selling your house over the next few weeks. Do you have time for a few questions about potentially selling your home and what that process will look like? Then they're going to say, yeah, I do. Awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about your home? So it's the same thing, but instead of talking about knee pain, you would be talking about their house. Or let's say that you had, what's an offer, Isaac, for roofers? Like roof rads, B2C, free consult, free roof replacement.
Most roofing stuff is like payment installations or like getting it covered by insurance. Those are the two like main offers. Most roofing stuff is just making it sound like new and novel. Like, hey, we have a homeowner program.
Okay, homeowner program. So the script would be like, hey, John, this is Joel with Denver Roofing. I saw you request some information about our new homeowner roofing program. Do you have time for a few questions to learn more about the program, about potentially getting you a new roof? So it's all the same thing. You would just change this based on the offer that you're running for the client. Cool. Let's go over the more basic version. The more basic version just kind of jumps right in and gets them scheduled. It skips the discovery. I don't recommend it. I recommend you guys go into discovery. But if you're like, Joel, like, I don't want to make my clients ask these complicated questions. You're like, Joel, I don't want to go so deep on their problems. Then you could just use the script and get them scheduled. It literally just jumps right in. Hey, John, this is Brian with Peak Performance Chiropractic. I was just giving you a call in response to that Facebook voucher you signed up for that exam and adjustment. Then you wait for them to respond. They're like, oh yeah. I'd be like, awesome. Well, let's find a time to get you scheduled. Your mornings or afternoons typically work best for you. So if you want to just skip all that and get them scheduled, you could do this, but they're way less likely to actually show up because there's no emotional connection. So again, call the leads within 5 minutes, call at least 10 times. If they pick up, you don't have to worry about texting. I never schedule people through email or voicemail drops. I schedule them through calling and texting. That's how you call. That's how you schedule them. Those are the scripts. And you could modify it for pretty much any freaking niche. It's just that some niches aren't going to have a security deposit. Like you're not going to take a security deposit for a realtor. Like that wouldn't work. But you could still follow this entire process. Do we need to do this as an agency? Rather hand over the script to the clients? I made my clients do it. But then you have to be really good at coaching your clients to do it. If you're not going to have the infrastructure in place to have your clients do it, then you just need to do it. And I actually recommend, even though calling is better, it's easier to get started with text. So at the very least, take care of text for them. Take that off their plate because you can just get a VA to do the text. Like you could even do the text. It's the way I'm going to show you guys, it's very, very simple. Building out a call center is very complicated. So at the very least, take over the text and make them call at the very least.
Call center is worth it long term, depending on the niche, like especially niches where you're doing like really high lead volume. Like for example, for like a mortgage client, a lot of these guys, you can generate them like 150 leads per month. If they call themselves, they're going to close like 1/5 of the amount of deals they would close if they had a call center backing them up. It does take a setup though. Call centers, like You can hire pre-built ones to call your leads for you. That's a short-term solution. It's kind of like white labeling because you're going to lose a large chunk of your profits. Long term, you can build one, but it is quite the setup. So yeah, what Joel's saying, like have them call it first, handle all the texting, set up some good high level automations. As your agency grows, especially depending on the niche, it might be a good idea to build one. But
agreed. I think take texting off their plate immediately. It's very simple, but I think calling gets complicated, especially because think about it. Let's say you're calling on behalf of a doctor or a dentist, and then the lead is like, hey, I can't find you. Like, where are you guys again? Like, what are you guys near? Like, it's just going to be it can be a logistical nightmare. That's all I'm saying. So you have to just be really prepared for it. But I would give your clients that script and make them call. Like, that's how I did it. I told the clients, if you don't call 10 times within the first week and call within the first hour, you don't qualify for the guarantee. And you have to be willing to record your calls. And if they're saying, oh, the leads suck or the leads aren't showing up, they have to be willing to let me do call reviews and literally listen to their calls. And guess what? Most of them aren't even using your script. Cool. Do we have objection handling when they say it's not a good time to talk? I think this one does. Hold on. I don't know why, but I put all the objection handling here. So if you guys want to look at all the objection handling situations, they're on the basic one. I didn't know I had to pay for this. Why can't I pay in person? If they answer no, can I call you back? I didn't sign up for that. If it goes to voicemail. So like, if they're like, can I call you back? Oh, you can definitely call us back. Just, we're booked out about a couple of weeks in advance. If you want, I can get you scheduled in less than 30 seconds. And if then that time doesn't work, you can always call us back and reschedule. You're essentially being like, yeah, you can call us back, but let me try to get you scheduled in 30 seconds. If they're like, oh, I didn't sign up for that. Oh, well, maybe one of your friends or family signed up for you. Do you have something going on with your health right now? So, because most of the time they're just lying. So it's like, let's say that it's a roofing offer. Oh, well, maybe one of your friends or family signed up for you. No worries at all. But since I have you here, do you have something going on with your roof right now that we might be able to take a look at?
yeah, when people say they don't remember signing up, I either assume they were drunk or they were really sleepy. Because like a lot of the times when you call these people and you're like, well, how's your roof looking? They're like, it's terrible. It's like, well, what are the chances that you have a terrible roof and you signed up through the roofing ad and now you suddenly forget that you didn't need a roof repair? It's like unlikely.
Yeah, they just don't want to talk to you. So like, well, I
Yeah.
didn't sign up for this. Like that's all it is. These are all smoke screens.
Yeah.
Or well, can I call you back? Might be a logistical one. That might be a logistical objection, but this is a smoke screen. They're like, I didn't sign up for that. Yeah, you kind of did. You just don't want to talk to me right now. But I think that what we did is we were just like, oh yeah, maybe one of your friends or family signed up. But with that in mind, since I have you here, like, do you have something going on with your back pain or knee pain right now that you wanted to get it checked out? And it's funny because I would literally listen to the calls with our chiropractor clients, and they're like, yeah, I do have knee pain. It's like, yeah.
What are the chances?
Oh man. Okay, so the objection handling responses are in that PDF. How do you take payment? Aren't people hesitant to hand over their details on a call? Yeah, I mean, this is also the challenge of doing it yourself. Like, if the doctor is calling, it's way easier to get them to actually pay, right? And because we do the discovery and because we explain why we're taking payment, it works pretty well. Can you expand on the 10 calls? It's 2 calls a day for 5 days straight. So for a whole week. So like morning and afternoon, if it goes straight to voicemail, we double tap because it means that it's on do not disturb. They have to call at least 10 times within the first week, essentially. That's all I'm trying to say. 10 times within the first week, and then call within the first hour, but ideally first 5 minutes. How do you take the refund? Okay, so on the money side, guys, I'm being dead serious. Sometimes we would just take their card number, but not run the card. It doesn't actually matter. It's all psychological. It's them being like, I paid for this, so I'm going to show up. Paid for this, I'm going to take this more seriously. So a lot of the times I told like the client like would get all up in their head about like, well, how are we going to take the payment? All this. I'm like, just run through the process. Don't take the payment. Just get their card details. They're going to think they took the card payment. And then when they come in, be like, yeah, we refunded it. It's not even on their freaking bank statement. Go look at your bank account. We never took it out. Let's go over texting. This is literally worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, giving it away for free. This is how we booked thousands of appointments for our clients, thousands. What we did is we combined texting and calling. So we always try to call no matter what, call immediately. But if they don't pick up, we use texting as a way to get them to engage. If they don't pick up when we call them, texting allows us to get the conversation started. That's the goal. Here's text one. It's the same shit. Hi, first name. This is Dr. Wise with Wise Regenerative Medicine. I saw you request an appointment in our office for a free consultation for your knee pain on TikTok. Do you have time for a few questions about the issue you're looking to fix? It's the same thing, but now instead of doing it over the phone, we do it over text. If this isn't getting responses for you and like no one's replying back to this text, change the first text to this one. Hi, this is Joel. Then once they respond, say, awesome, this is Dr. Wise with Wise Regenerative Medicine. I saw you just requested an appointment in our office for a free consultation for your knee pain on TikTok. Do you have time for a few questions about the issue you're looking to fix? So we're literally following the same process that we would over the phone, but we're doing it over text. If your response rate to this first question is low, change it to this one, and then dive into the first original question. Then text two, are you still interested in healing your knee pain? So I like to text about once a day. So this would be first day. You could do text two same day later in the afternoon and then space it out. But normally it's like day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. So I have a very simple 5-day sequence. Are you still interested in healing your knee pain? Hey, first name, this is Dr. Wise. Are these texts coming through? I'm just getting them to respond. Text 5, I'm worried about you. Haven't heard back. Is everything okay? Just want to make sure that you don't miss out on getting relief with your knee pain. We would love to help. A simple yes or no will do. And as you can see, none of these are restating the offer, right? None of these are restating the offer. They're all just trying to get them to respond about the knee pain they're looking to fix. If I don't get a response to these first 5 texts over these first 5 days, when we're also calling aggressively, so again, we're calling 2 times over the first 5 days, they're getting 1 text a day. If after that, they're not responding, I put them into a long-term easy yes sequence that restates the offer. Okay. I pulled up a really old one that I had just so you guys could see, like literally see it from our own campaigns from 2020. Same process works, but now we're actually going to restate the offer. So at this point, I assume they forgot about what they even signed up for. So I'm going to restate the offer and I'm going to keep putting them on a long-term texting sequence. Hey, Joel, you could say Dr. Wise again, or Ashley, if you want to have an assistant from Spinal Care. Just wanted to let you know we'll soon be offering a fresh set of $21 new patient special vouchers. So I'm restating the offer. Now I'm like saying, hey, you forgot about this. I'm going to just keep reminding you about the offer. Should I save one for you? Just checking in. Are you still interested in coming in for your first appointment? Hey, Joel, unfortunately, we need to reserve these vouchers for patients who are really interested in coming in to receive care. If that's you, please let me know. Hey, Joel, just wanted to let you know you've got a couple days left to schedule an appointment to claim your $21 new patient special voucher. Are you still interested in coming in to see what we could do for you? So essentially, I put them into a long-term, easy yes question sequence that restates the offer. And you could do that like, you could send out a text like every few days forever, or you could do it like once a week. It's up to you. But at that point, like if I didn't get them with this first phase and with calling them, this definitely works, but you're going to start to get diminishing returns. Okay. After they respond, you're going to follow a very similar process to the phone call. After they respond, you're going to qualify into 2 to 4 questions to get them emotionally to buy in. So let's say they say, yeah, I do have a few minutes to answer some questions about my knee pain. Awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on? On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is the pain? Have you tried anything to fix it? You're not going to go as deep, by the way, but you still want to get them to engage with you. Like you guys want to get them to engage with you so that they're not going to just book an appointment and ghost. You want to actually have a bit of a conversation with them, even if it's over text. You're not going to go as deeper, and you're going to keep it a little bit shorter, like 2 to 4 questions to get them to emotionally buy into the conversation. You're not going to do all of them. These are just examples. You're going to ask them, let's say 2 to 3 questions. Then you're going to schedule them. And ideally you get them scheduled for a phone call. I would not try to schedule them over text. Ideally, you say, great. So based on everything you've shared, we definitely think you'd be a great fit. I'd love to give you a quick call to get you scheduled. Do you have a few minutes now? And what we did is we would actually schedule the calls with our clients. And we would put it on their calendars for their front desk staff to call them. So for example, if the front desk staff called and couldn't get a hold of them, we would text, we would get them engaged a little bit, ask them a few questions to go deeper, and then we would say, awesome, it seems like we can help you. Let's get you scheduled for a phone call with our front desk staff. And then the front desk staff would go deeper on the script, reconfirm everything, and then take the payment. That's why we had a great show up rate for our clients. If you want to just get them scheduled right away and skip the phone, you could also do that. Like if you're just starting out and you're like, I guaranteed appointments and I have to get them scheduled and I don't want to have to go through the whole process of calling them. You could just get them scheduled over text. You would just say, great. So based on everything you've shared, we definitely think that you're a great fit. We have an opening on this date and time or this date and time, which one works best for you. Then you schedule them and that's it. And then you ask for referrals at the end. Before I go, would any of your friends or family like to take advantage of this offer also? And then a few notes. It's going to be pretty much impossible to do the pay ahead method over text. And it's going to be really hard for you to connect emotionally. So show up rates will be lower. If you schedule them over text, show up rates will be lower. You can also skip the digging deeper part over text and just jump right in and get them scheduled. But again, show up rates will be lower. Like you don't have to go through this phase 2, but phase 2 really helps get them to emotionally buy into why they're doing this, which then gets them to actually show up. And then again, the goal of the text should be to supplement calling and make it easier to get yeses and get them engaged in the conversation, not replace it. If I were you guys, what I would do is I would do the texting for the client. And then once they're like, yeah, I'm ready to do this, I would then transfer the lead to the front desk staff to give them a call and then go through the script in a more condensed version. Like, hey, let's confirm everything that we were going over through the text. It seems like you said that you've tried this before or you've tried chiropractic before. Tell me a little bit more about that. So you would just get your clients to call them and just kind of go through all the information, be like, awesome. So it looks like we already, it sounds like you're a great fit. Let's get you scheduled and then take payment. Prepaid deposits definitely work in the gym niche. The referral at the end is like an easy way to get like a third like 30% more leads and more appointments for free for your clients. Literally, sometimes we would get like a whole family. It's like you just turn 1 lead into 5 just by asking for it. Let's go over Go High Level Setup.
You guys will learn different things about your niches as you go along. Like I see people asking in chat about like solar and like other specific niches. Like there's going to be niche specific details that you learn as you go along, but the fundamentals are all the same. Like asking those questions at the beginning of the call is the thing that most niches skip. Like they'll go straight into like, hey, schedule now, or like book now, or pay now. And that's where most people mess up with people without sales experience. The questions and building rapport with the customer, as long as that's done, it's like hard to mess up the rest. Like human beings are like emotional creatures. So if you connect with them at the beginning of the call and just force your clients to do at least like a little bit of that, the rest can kind of play out really well and it can be figured out.
Yeah. And I think just take the framework. Guys, here's a framework. Don't worry so much about the details. Here's the framework. Call the leads as fast as possible, ideally within the first 5 minutes, if not within the hour. Call them 10 times. over the first week. If they don't pick up, have a text sequence, a 5-day text sequence to get them to respond. If they don't respond to that sequence, create a longer term sequence where you restate the offer and make it easier for them to say yes over text. Once they respond, dig deeper. That's phase 2. And then transition to the close, which would be either giving them a call or getting them scheduled or taking the payment. That's the framework. Yeah. Like take that and then just modify it a little bit for your niche and you'll be fine.
Cool. So I'm going to go into HighLevel and how you can automate a good portion of what we just showed. Here's one of my fundamental recommendations for HighLevel. Keep it simple. Like people build, you see these like really, really complex high levels with like 1 million triggers, 1 million workflows, million campaigns. It can work. It can help sometimes, but those are marginal gains over the basics. The basics are what you see on screen right now. You need an appointment reminder campaign, a new lead campaign that gets conversation started with new leads. So it does a little bit of the work for your client. And if you want a no-show campaign, even no-show campaigns, all of this relies on calling. So if your client isn't calling the leads during all of these processes being automated, they're not gonna get the best results. This is in addition to a good calling schedule for the client. In addition to these 3 automations, have a basic opportunities board for them, like really basic. You can modify this obviously depending on the niche.
Yo, can you guys see the screen? Can you give me a thumbs up? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let me know if the screen is actually sharing.
Yeah, it is.
Before I rant for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Cool. Need a basic opportunities board plus these 3 automations. Now, these are nothing crazy. I'll go through these. One thing I like to do that Joel, when you had Cairo agency, did you do a lot of voicemail drops for your clients?
I focus more on calling and texting, but
yeah.
And then I had my clients leave the voicemails when they called.
Okay.
But like, I know that you had your own 7-figure agency and we did things a little bit different. So I'm sure that this will be great for people to learn.
Yeah. So guys, the reason why I have voicemail drops in this sequence is probably not what you think. Yes, it leaves a voicemail on their phone. Yes, sometimes the prospects listen to the voicemail and will call back and be like, wow, I'm very interested in what you said to me. The main purpose of the voicemail drops is to make up for lacking clients, because voicemail drops show up as missed calls, which is really useful. Because if you hit them with some missed calls the first day, in addition to your clients are supposed to call twice. They don't always do it. So if your client calls once and then there's like another voicemail drop later on the day, now you're having 2 or 3 missed calls on the client's phone. I don't know about you guys. I think this is most people now. Like our generation does not call back unless if there's like 3 missed calls from the same number. Like 1 missed call from a number that doesn't even exist in my mind. Like I'm not even registering that. It starts registering on people's mind to call back when they see 2 or 3 missed calls with voicemails left on each call. That's when it's like, okay, I'm going to see what, see what these people are calling about. So that's what the voicemail drops are for. It's to create additional missed calls for the client. Under settings here, you do want to only do like weekdays in most niches. You can include weekends. Just know the more heavy you make your sequences and the more stuff you do, like include weekends and just let it run if you let it run 24/7, you don't include time windows, you may get a higher response rate slightly, but you're going to piss more and more people off. Which your client will complain to you about. You're going to piss some people off.
There's a trade-off.
Yeah.
That's why the texting guys was only a 5-day sequence.
Yeah.
And then after that, remember I said after that, if they don't respond, I put them into a long-term sequence. I also only did that if the client asked me to, or if honestly, like just with 1 week of touch points, you're good.
Yeah. And yeah, you can modify our sequences and make them even more aggressive, which I did. And like in the mortgage niche, I added like an extra text or 2 the first 2 or 3 days. Like you can make them a little bit more aggressive. Just know you will be pissing people off and make sure the client is aware of that. So there's a trade-off there. Stop on response on lead to conversation campaigns, always have stop on response on. The only time you don't want to have stop on response on is like on appointment confirmation campaigns. If you have stop on response turned on appointment confirmation campaigns, if they respond at all, which a decent amount of them do, it'll stop the sequence and they'll no longer get reminders. So make sure you're aware of that. The filter here, contact created, has tag. So make sure when you import these leads, you import them with a tag. This just keeps things organized. I just put new lead as the tag. You can make this whatever. Just make sure whatever you make the tag, you change the filter here on the, I'm calling these campaigns, but they're automations now. I use outdated high-level language. Create or update opportunity on a new lead campaign. You want to make sure it imports the leads into the pipeline, put it at the very first stage, the new lead stage. That's all you need to do there. Then it's pretty basic. It's what we talked about in the what Joel just talked about. It's just that put into some high-level automation. So we have text voicemail, wait 3 hours, text voicemail again, and then it's every 24 hours. So the first day we hit them twice, hi, is this, John, ? Basic stuff that baits for a response. And then the client takes the conversation from there. These are going to be fairly high response type campaigns. Like you can make these super long texts that are like, hey, this is, Dr. Wayne from Wayne's Chiropractic and blah, blah, blah. You're going to get low response rate with those. With stuff that baits for a response like this, you increase your response rate drastically. So then it goes every 24 hours. Again, just conversation initiators, text followed by voicemail every single time. The sequence goes 1. Let me see how many days this follows. 2, 3.
And you guys can take the scripts
4.
that I gave you and just implement them into the sequence. And you can also tweak it a little bit too.
Yeah. So this is a 4-day sequence. You guys can add additional days just by adding a wait node. So wait node, 24 hours. Here, one second. Zoom is blocking my button on my screen.
Can we actually just build out a workflow from scratch, Isaac? Like just the first text, the first.
Well, what I'm doing right here, you can this is how you build it out from start. I'll build one. So I'll build one from start to show you guys how to set up the filters and stuff though. So then we'll add a text, blah, blah. Then we'll add a voicemail. Then you have to upload the voicemail file to actually.
What does voicemail say?
Really basic. Like, hey, this is Dr. John. I just got your request for your discounted back adjustment. Please give me a call back. I want to make sure we reserve your spot. We only have a couple of vouchers left. Just really basic stuff with a little bit of added scarcity.
It's pretty simple, guys. Most of you overcomplicate this shit. Generate leads for your clients. Get them to respond. Once they respond, dig deeper. Once you're digging deeper and emotionally connecting as to why they want to do this and why they want to do it now, get them scheduled.
Yeah. And
I thought like, oh, I'm working with doctors. There's some magical process that happens. Or, oh, I'm working with roofers. There's some magical process. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's the same thing for your clients to get agency clients. Someone opts into your ads. Literally, the text is, are you still interested in getting new patients? Like, it's the same thing. Then you get them to respond. Then you follow the script. It's the same thing.
Yeah. So this is the other sequence, appointment reminder campaign. So you do have to set up a filter on here for wherever the appointment is scheduled on the calendar. Event type normal, appointment status is confirmed. The third filter you guys are going to add is in calendar, to choose whichever calendar. Like after you make the calendar, you have to make sure you choose the calendar here to actually have it work. So that when you guys import this, make sure you do that. Additionally, something I forgot to add here, which we'll build right now, because I want to show you guys how the first part of a sequence is built. You need to update the opportunity status to go to the appointment created. So create update opportunity. select pipeline, all leads pipeline. This is going to move them from the lead stage of a pipeline to the scheduled appointment stage of the pipeline. Opportunity name, we don't need to change that. Lead value, status, we don't need to change status. Allow opportunity to move to a previous state, that's fine. Allow duplicate opportunities, save. Okay, so this will move it from the lead section of the pipeline to the scheduled appointment. And all of these emails and texts, we actually went over this on the last presentation, but it's all really basic stuff. Just telling them they need to show up for their appointment, where the appointment is, the office location. If you don't include office location, you're going to get a million emails saying where is this located. So make sure you do that. We also have them text to confirm in one of these. Let me pull it up. These are all basically the same. So make sure. I don't even know where it is, but this is a pretty basic sequence, appointment reminder. Nothing really needs to be added to this. It's pretty good as is. You could add an additional email or text 10 minutes before. The way you would do that, you just add a wait node. And the difference when you have an appointment is you want to use the event appointment time. Okay, cool. And then before, maybe like 10 minutes before. What that does, and it's important you don't forget to do this. If you just use the regular wait node, it won't work properly. This takes into account the appointment time and sends whatever you put after it, whatever text or whatever you put after it 10 minutes before. So then you would just add a text and an email after that new wait node. Workflow has been saved. Now, no-show campaign. This one is pretty basic as well. The way this works is on the opportunities board, when you pull a lead over and you move it to the no-showed column, so like let's say they had scheduled appointment and then they no-showed, it'll trigger this automation here to fire. So pipeline stage changed, in pipeline, all leads pipeline stage no-showed. And it starts this sequence. We had your discounted chiropractic treatment scheduled for today. I just tried to give you a call, wasn't able to reach you. Are you still available for your appointment? And it just goes on like this for like 2 or 3 days. This isn't a super hardcore like ROI sequence. It's cool to show to clients. You do get some people responding. They need to call the people as well if they have any extra time. So if they have any like time that they aren't calling new leads, they can call these leads. Although if they have the chance or have the choice, to call new leads versus old leads, call the new leads. If somebody no-showed for an appointment, they're less hot than a new lead coming in. New leads need to be prioritized always. That's really it for the high-level sequences. I want to show you guys how to import leads through Zapier. I get that question a lot. The standard high-level import leads feature is kind of it breaks sometimes. I personally never use it. Every time somebody comes to me and they're like, hey, my high level is not importing leads properly, they're always using the built-in high level leads importer. I use Zapier for everything. So let me show you guys how I set this up. First step, and you do have to have premium Zapier for this, new lead and Facebook lead ads. That's the trigger. We're going to continue. You're going to choose your Facebook account. Then you're going to choose the page that you want to, that your client is running from. Then you're going to choose the form. So whatever lead form you created, hit continue, test trigger, continue. Then on Zapier, high level is called lead connector. I don't know why they go by that name. It's kind of sketchy, to be honest, but that's what they do. Add or update contact is the event. Continue. Sign in. Now it's going to ask for the API. You're going to pull this from settings. API key is right here. Copied. If there isn't an API key that's working for you, Just refresh the API. There's a little refresh button. Nice. We might actually get to do it right now. You need to reset it. Yes, continue. Cool. Now it should be pulling it in. Perfect. Now that account is connected. Now we're just going to pull the, here's a full name import, full name, email. Let me see if this lead even has a phone number. Phone number, perfect. Address, city, I'm just going to leave all that plain. Tags, new lead. Make sure you use whatever tag you use on the, where is it? Oh, we're already here. Whatever tag you use needs to import it as a new lead. So there needs to be alignment between what you put on here and what you put here. And that is all we really have to do here. Oh, wait, where's required fields? Oh, that's what I was missing. Mark as lead true. And hit continue, test action. This will work. I don't care about this right now. I'm not even going to try to fix that. Don't bother reaching out to high level support. Just freaking refresh the API. It happens sometimes, but if you refresh the API, connect it, it'll work. Publish it, publish and turn on, and that's all you have to do to connect a Facebook lead ad to HighLevel. If you use a landing page, if you use a survey, it's gonna be a little bit different. All that's going to change is this first step, the trigger. But every single app in the world is on Zapier, so it's not a problem. But yeah, that's really all you guys have to do to build out HighLevel. These 3 sequences, opportunities board, connect it with Zapier if you want, no issues. And yeah, that's really it. Do you have anything to add, Joel?
No, I'm just responding to questions in the chat, but
Okay.
I trust you with my whole life when it comes to ads and go high level. So whatever Isaac says, just listen to it and don't question it. I know that sounds like a cult, but just trust me.
It's a little bit of a cult. It's fine though.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think it's great. I was just helping someone asked a really good question. Maybe we could talk about this really, really quickly. Someone asked, like, if they have a really thick accent, is that going to hurt them in agency? 2 things. You can always partner with someone that speaks really solid English. The other option, like, Isaac, can you talk a little bit about like white label agency? Like, that's a huge need in the market. Like, there's so many people that are good at going out and getting clients, and there's very few people that are good at getting results. Like, you can also become a white label agency where you just get paid to do the work.
Yeah. So if you're extremely bad at sales, you have 2 routes that you can go down. Route number 1 is to partner with somebody in your agency. And this is actually what I did when I grew my agency. I partnered with somebody who was really good at sales. They had 0 tech skills. They had no idea how to run ads, no idea how to do anything. So I got really good at the ad side, at the tech side, and they got really good at the closing side. And that was the partnership. I didn't handle anything with sales and some basic, I'd like help structure our sales team, structure like a hiring process, some of the back end part of the sales team. But as far as the actual sales, I never touched it. And as far as the tech stuff, they never had to touch it. So you can form partnerships like that. Number 1. Number 2, white label agencies, you can grow really fast. Even just organically, you can grow a white label agency very fast. What white label is, for those unaware, is, let's say an agency is closing a lot of deals and they want to outsource the getting results for clients part to somebody else. That's where you step in. So they'll hire you to build out their client campaigns and manage their client ads without ever actually having to touch, number one, closing clients, number two, client management. And white label agencies, you can grow organically really well. If you just establish a good Facebook profile, Facebook will be where you get most of your white label clients. And you can also run ads for yourself. People run ads for white label agencies as well. So those are two very valid options, and you can grow those very quickly. Those are very profitable, especially white label.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I thought it was a good, I get that question all the freaking time. So I was like, let me just answer it on this recorded video, and then everyone else will hear it or see it. All right, should we dive into how to close the leads? Yes. All right. So guys, today we've talked about, or I guess last time we talked about how to get the leads. We've talked about how to generate an appointment from the lead. So someone opts in on Facebook through your ad or TikTok through your ad. We talked about how to call them to set the appointment. We talked about how to text them to set the appointment. And we talked about how to emotionally connect with the leads and take payment so that they actually show up. Because if you get all these appointments and they don't show up, guess what? Your clients are going to be pissed. So the 80-20 of getting them to show up is to connect emotionally, and then take payment is the icing on the cake. That's like that's how you take it from 80-20 to 100%. So, yeah, and then go high level. Isaac showed you guys everything for the sequences. You have everything ready to go. If everything is making sense, drop a 1 in the chat. Everything is making sense, drop a 1 in the chat. And again, my goal is to really give you guys everything to be able to help your clients go from lead to appointment that shows up to then a close. Now, this is the trickiest part of the process, guys. How to actually get them to close. Let me pull up where is this? 1 second. Where did my guide go? All right, here it is. This is the trickiest part of the process, guys. How to help your clients close the leads. I'll go over quick wins afterwards. Let me just make that. I'll put that at the end. We're going to have to just reorganize some stuff. All right. How to help the clients close the leads. This is one of the trickiest pieces of the puzzle. And you may be wondering why. Well, it's the only piece of the puzzle that you don't have any control over. So can you control how many leads they get? Can you control if we're texting them to get them scheduled for an appointment? Could you control calling them? Yeah, I mean, technically you could pick up the phone and call them, but like, you're not going to close them on a dental procedure over the phone. They have to go in and speak with a doctor. You're not going to close them on getting a new roof unless you show up at their house. This is the part of the process that you have no control over, which makes it the hardest. This is the hardest piece of the puzzle, and it will take some time, but if you solve this problem, you will make a lot of money. Here's how I was able to solve it. I created something called the hybrid model. The hybrid model. It's the same model that Hermosi uses. I don't know if you guys saw Matt Shields on Thomas Gannett's YouTube. He's a good friend of mine, and I also coached him. He came through my program, and great guy. Same thing, hybrid model. What we've essentially realized is that just running the ads by themselves is not enough to get them results. You have to also coach them on sales. I don't know if you guys remember what I talked about last time we all met, but I said most business owners suck at two things. They suck at sales and they suck at business. They suck at sales and they suck at business. They're bad entrepreneurs. Generating more leads and more appointments doesn't solve that problem. All that generating leads and appointments does is gets them more leads and appointments. But if they still suck at sales and they still suck at business, they're going to fail. So how do we actually get them to be good at business? How do we get them to be good at sales? We have to essentially create a coaching program for the clients. This is the trickiest one to do. I'm going to show you guys how to do it as simply as possible, but this is really the trickiest one. And here's also why. You guys aren't, like, I'm not a dentist. I'm not a chiropractor. So I don't know how to close a chiropractor patient. I'm not a roofer. I don't know how to like go look at the roof and close a roof. That's the challenge. The challenge is that we are not in this niche. And the reason why someone like, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but like Gym Launch, Hermosi's company, also runs their ads. So they're technically an agency, but they also coach. They just don't promote it that way. They do run the ads for the gym owners, but they also coach them. So why were they able to succeed more than every other gym agency out there? Well, it's because they actually had experience running gyms. They knew how to close deals. Why do I have the best results with Agency Lab? Because I actually ran an agency. So I know how to close agency clients, and I can show you guys how to close agency clients. How can you get the best results for a dentist if you've never closed if you're not a dentist? That's the challenge. And here's how we are going to solve that problem. You guys need to essentially build out what I like to call the 3 C's: a course, a coaching program, and a community. Now, the easiest way to get started, it's these 2 things. This is the easiest way to get started. Finding a strategic partner that's really good at sales to be the coach. Finding a strategic partner that's really good at sales to be the coach. So what I did is I actually partnered up with Dr. Jen and Dr. Brian, who are my highest performing clients. And I had them coach all of my other clients on the sales process. I also had them create a course breaking down how to close, what mindset you should have, what the script is. Because I'm not a chiropractor, I don't know. So you guys need to go out and find someone in your niche that is crushing it, that's a savage. The better they are at sales, the better results you're going to be able to get your clients. And then you have to convince them to come in and coach and help you create a course. You're not the guru. You have to find the guru. You have to find the guy or the girl in your niche that's crushing it, so that you can then get them to coach your clients. I have a student, his name is Brandon Yu. He has a like $300K a month med spa agency, but he was one of the top consultants for CryoSkin, which is a med spa service. And he actually had a med spa. So when he started his agency, he was literally coaching all of his clients, and that's why they got crazy results. It wasn't just the leads. It wasn't just the appointments. He actually coached them on how to sell. So you guys need to find that guy or that person in your niche. Here's some places to look. Number 1, you can look for your highest performing clients. So if you do have clients already, your highest performing clients that are crushing it, get them to coach. If not, I would reach out to people that you know are making some serious money in your niche, or like influencers. And I would essentially say, hey, come in to coach for my agency. And you can either pay them per client, you can give them a small percentage of equity, you can refer out all of your clients to them if they have a coaching program. So for example, at first, the way that I did it, let me see if I could show you guys. 1 second. All right. At first, I partnered with these guys, Dr. Jen and Dr. Brian. They were my highest performing clients of all time. They crushed it. They helped me build out a course. They helped me build out a Facebook group for the clients. They helped me build out weekly coaching calls. And I essentially raised my prices by $100. And every single new client, the extra $100 went to them. So I was like, hey, for every new client that I get, I'll pay you $100 a month. So at one point, we ended up getting like an extra 100 clients. They're making $10K a month just for coaching. So that's how I paid them. After that, we ended up partnering with this guy who's very well known. I ended up partnering with Dr. CJ. I'll just show you his website. I can't find him on the slides. He's already coaching chiropractors. He already has a coaching program. So like literally what I did is I reached out to Dr. CJ and I was like, hey, I have like 200 clients. If you coach them for free, you can upsell all those clients on your coaching program. So we did a trade. Dr. CJ is like a 7-figure chiropractor. He's one of the most famous chiropractors. So what you guys essentially want to do is find a partner to help come in as the coach, you can either look for other coaches that are already coaching in your niche. You can look for you can look at your top performing clients. You can also just look at people that are crushing it in your niche. This one takes a little bit of time to find. It's not as simple as just setting up an ad, but like if you find the right strategic partner that can help you teach your clients how to close, it's going to make a huge difference. Now, here's the next thing you got to do. You got to build something called a success path course. So right now, who here drop your niche in the comments. Drop your niche in the comments. Drop your niche in the comments. Okay. Stop. Jan, you said med spa. I assume, Jan, you've never closed a med spa Botox person. I assume Sophia hasn't closed a solar deal. I assume Jonas doesn't have an auto detailing. So you don't know what the success path looks like. You don't actually know what the sales process looks like. So what we're actually going to do is once you actually have someone that is crushing it, you're going to interview them, and ask them how to go from appointment to close. So what I did is I actually met up with Dr. Jen and Dr. Brian, and I asked them, hey, I need you to explain to me from start to finish, how do you close a client once they come in for their appointment? What's the script? What's the offer? How do you go for the close and ask for the money? What are the biggest objections that you get? I literally need to understand, and really I call it the success path, but you should just to keep it simple. Let's just call it appointment to close course. How do you go from appointment to close? What you're going to do is you're going to interview your strategic partner. If you don't have a strategic partner, you could literally just go out and find someone that's crushing it and just interview them. Be like, hey, can I interview you and put this in, like, I'm going to be promoting this and getting your name out there. And what you're going to do is you're going to ask them how to go from appointment to close and explain to you from start to finish, how do you close a client when they come in for their appointment? What's the script? What's the offer? How do you go for the close and ask for the money? What are the biggest objections that you get? What mindset should you have? What are the biggest things to keep in mind? Why do some people fail while others like yourself crush it? And you're going to interview them for an hour or two. Then you're going to take that video and chop it up into a mini course. So let's say that you ask them about each question could be a module in your course. And then let's say they give you the script, you're going to actually write it out and give it to them. So you want to create a course for your clients. So I showed you guys the demo presentation. Like we literally have a course for our clients. It was called Cairo University, where we taught them everything and we gave them all the resources, how to close, how to handle objections, everything. So what you guys want to do is interview your strategic partner or one of your highest performing clients, or literally anyone that's crushing it in the niche. And you want to learn the appointment to close process. After you interview them, you're going to turn that interview into a course. So like the script, the offer, going for the close, objection handling, mindset, golden nuggets, warning, this is why you will fail. Those could all be sections in the course. And you just take that long interview that you did and you turn it into small videos. And then you take the scripts for closing and the objection handles, and you'd create a resource for them. Like literally make a Google Doc with a script Does that make sense, guys? This is kind of complicated. It's because it's the hardest one. To break it down, find someone that's either your highest performing client or someone that's already crushing it. Ask them to be your strategic partner. They're going to help you coach your clients. Then you're going to interview them on what is the process to go from appointment to close. Ideally, they could actually help you make a course. Like at first, the first time I did it, I just interviewed the clients and had them, like I interviewed my highest performing clients on their success process, on their success path. I interviewed them on how do you go from appointment to close. But eventually I just had Dr. Jen and Dr. Brian create a whole course. And we actually filmed them going into, like I actually went into their practice and we literally showed them closing a client. It wasn't live, but like, it was like me pretending that I was a patient, or it wasn't me, but it was one of their, it was their chiropractic assistant, their CA. And they were walking us through the close in a live setting. So they could literally see how to close the deal. And we actually built out a whole course. But the 80-20 of this, guys, is you need to find someone in the niche to help you out. You're not going to be able to do this. Is this making sense? Drop a 1 if it is. I definitely don't think that you should do the hybrid model where you coach until two things. You have clients, because most of you guys are like worried about this shit before you even have a client. I'd say when you have 10 clients, you can start worrying about this. If you have 10 clients and you've got everything else dialed in, the texting, the calling, everything to get them the appointment to show up, then we could worry about this. And by then you'll probably know someone that can help you build this out. So again, let's break this down a little bit more specifically. Bro, this mic, this like thing right here is fucked. I need to buy a new one. You see how it just starts to drop? All right. The course needs to show a few things. Closing script, objection handling, mindset, golden nuggets for closing, biggest things. All right. If your course has these things, you can help your clients win. But again, you need to find someone to help you build this out. The closing script, objection handling, or you could just call it objection handles, mindset for closing, golden nuggets for closing. Biggest reason why people fail. And then ideally, you also have a live walkthrough of them closing, even if it's a mock closing, like even if it's not actually real, even if it's just like a role play, a live role play where they could see them closing someone. You're going to have to create this course. And then what you want to do, guys, is you want to make it mandatory for your clients to watch this course before you turn on the ads. So you want to make it mandatory for your clients to watch this course before you turn on the ads. And if you have a guarantee, what I told my clients is, hey, if you don't watch the course, because I told them it's mandatory. I said you have to do it within the first week, but a lot of them still didn't. I would turn on the ads, but I would say, hey, look, you don't qualify for the guarantee. You want to qualify for the guarantee, you need to finish the course. But the course needs to have these things: the script for closing, objection handles, mindset for closing, golden nuggets for closing, biggest reasons why people fail, live walkthrough, closing. Guys, I would literally give you access to my course, but I lost access to it when I sold my agency. That's why I'm not showing it to you. I don't have access anymore. So I would show you guys the course and just give it away for free, but I lost access to it. It's in a different account. So it is what it is. Cool. Coaching. What does coaching look like? Pretty simple. We did 2 calls a week. We did 2 calls per week. We did an all hands in call, which I'll break that down in a second. And we did a sales training. That's it. So we had our strategic partner do these 2 calls. It wasn't even us doing it. And then they helped me build out the course. On the sales training, we did role play. We did objection handles. And then sometimes we taught something new. It's pretty basic stuff. On the all hands in call, this is kind of like a community call. We did client success interviews. We did new master classes. Guest speakers. So essentially what you guys want to do is once you guys have a lot of clients, and this is very advanced, like we're getting into advanced stuff here. Once you have a lot of clients on like once a week or even once a month, what you want to do is interview your highest performing clients and do a, hey, if you've had crazy success with our program, like we'd like to interview you. And then what happens is you get your clients to teach your clients. Your clients, your best, highest performing clients now are coaching your other clients. So this is where you would bring all of your clients on the call for sales training once a week, and then an all hands in community call either once a week or every other week or once a month. And you're going to essentially interview your highest performing clients. And now all of your other clients are learning from your highest performing clients. And what happens, guys, what happens is they increase conviction. Remember what we said on the sales training day? I think it was like day 2. Do you guys remember what I said? What's the number one factor to increase your closing rate? Write it down. Write it down. What is the number one factor to increase closing rate? You guys remember? Nope. Okay, if you go back and watch it, it was conviction. Having belief in yourself, having belief in your results, having belief that it's possible. Conviction. If you have conviction, closing rate will go up. Conviction, belief that it's possible. Guess what happens when you bring all your clients on a coaching call and you interview your highest performing client? They all have conviction now that your system works. So they're going to then be like, oh shit, I need to close these internet leads. Coaching your clients creates belief that it's possible. And once they are believing, like anyone that comes into my program, they are literally bombarded with all the results that I'm getting. And then it suffocates their excuses. They can't blame me. I make it so that they literally have to take ownership and be like, wow, I need to just get better. It's on me. The system works. The process works. I'm the one that needs to level up. You want to have that same effect on your clients. The only way to do that is by creating belief that it's possible to get such crazy results. How are we going to do that? Well, we interview your highest performing clients in front of everyone else. So that's the all hands in call. You guys can also teach something new. You guys can also bring guest speakers. If you guys bring in a chiropractor, for example, that closed, 3,000 patients in a year, and he does a whole masterclass on here's how I close 3,000 patients in a year. Guess what? Everyone else is going to have more conviction, more excitement. Right now, technically, I'm doing a guest workshop for you guys. Imagine if you did things like that for your clients to help them. So those are the coaching calls you guys need to create for your clients. Sales training, and then an all hands in call. The last piece is the community. This one's the hardest part. I would not do a community until you have at least like 50 clients. I would implement this once you have 10 clients. If you have 10 clients, I would implement the coaching and the course. The community, I would wait till you have at least 50 clients. It just gets really hard. You have to be really good at managing a lot of people at once. where everyone sees everything. So I'm not going to go too deep on that one. It's not the 80-20. This is the 80-20 right here. Coaching in a course. And again, if you're like, Joel, I don't have I don't have a strategic partner. You can literally just interview someone and ask them these questions and then take that and cut it up into a course. If you're like, Joel, I don't have a chiropractor that's willing to help me make this course, or I don't have a auto detailing owner that's willing to help me make this course. I'm sure you could find an auto detailing owner or a dentist or gym owner that's willing to at least get interviewed and share their process. And then you could take that interview and chop it up into a course. I actually did a 3-part series on how to help your clients close. I did a 3-part series on how to help your clients close. It's on YouTube. I think if you go on my YouTube and just search up lead quality. Look, I did a 3-part series, like 3 hours, on how to do this, how to build out the course, how to build out the community. I actually spent a lot more time going deeper on these things. So if you want to go deeper on how to actually do the course, do the coaching, go watch those videos. Cool. That's how you build out the course. That's how you build out the coaching. You need to find someone that is crushing it, get them to build out the course, get them to come in and coach your clients on sales once or twice a week, and then do an all hands in community call where you can motivate your clients and increase conviction, increase belief that it's possible, which then increases their sales percentages. If they have more belief that it's possible, if they believe that they could do it, if they have conviction, their sales closing rate will go up. Okay, drop a 1 if this is making sense. Again, for the first, until you have 10 clients, don't worry about helping them close. First, worry about getting them leads, then getting them appointments, then getting them to show up. Once you have 10 clients, worry about helping them close. Once you have 50 clients, build out the community. I know this isn't as like exciting as like, here's the ad, here's the script. This is more like basic foundational information, you know, like the only way to get them good at closing though is going to be through the coaching agency hybrid model. I don't know how you're going to help them get better at closing without coaching them. We've got about 45 minutes, so I'm going to keep going. Let's see. We went over this, went over this, went over this. Cool. If their ego is too big and they say we are the best at closing, I mean, if they're actually really good, be like, oh, awesome. Would it be cool if I interview you? And someone asked, Sophia asked, if their ego is too big and they say we're the best at closing, be like, if they really are, I would try to get them to help you build out the course. If they're not, it comes down to a lot of different factors. If their ego really is too big, it comes down to setting good expectations at the beginning, which I'm going to show you guys. It comes down to helping them change their mindset on things. But it's tough. Clients with big egos, it's tough. Like if they're not open-minded to changing, there's not much you could do. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to actually talk about launch calls and check-in calls first. I dropped this launch call presentation for you guys. This is the one that I use to help to really set the expectation with my clients at the very beginning. Because if the expectation sucks, they're not going to close any leads. You need to have really solid expectations about the process, about what it actually takes if you want them to close the leads. So let me show you guys this. Okay. This is the launch call presentation that I run every new client through. So part of getting clients really good results, guys, is getting them leads, getting them appointments, helping them close the leads, right? But there's a huge piece of it that makes a massive difference, and it's setting really good expectations. If the client expects to close 80%, but in reality, the closing rate on average is 20%, and they don't know that, and you don't tell them, as soon as they're not closing at 80%, they're going to quit. But if you set the expectation about what it's actually going to take, they're going to be much more prepared to actually go out and close the leads. You guys have to educate and train your clients. That is the 80-20. And it starts off with this. It starts off with this launch call. And this one I call the training wheels version. I literally call it the training wheels version because you can literally read the words on it, word for word. I also gave you guys the condensed version, which is like a little bit shorter. But the training wheels version literally says everything step by step. So let me actually show you guys how much we set expectations. Let me keep going. Let me find something good to talk about. All right, how the ads work. Let's talk about, this is literally, so again, I go through this presentation with every new client. And I'm going to give you guys access to this, so don't worry. I tell them, here's how the ads work. And this is, again, before they go live. We evaluate the success of the ads on a 2-week cycle, and we think about it like investing in the stock market. But as you can see, over time, it goes up. That being said, there are ups and downs. Look, huge down, huge down. Even if you really go in and take a look at shorter time periods, it goes up and down. So if you get a ton of leads or appointments 1 week and then 0 the next, or if it dies out for 2 to 3 days, most of you guys are feeling like this. You're freaking out. And I'm chilling. I'm straight up chilling. It's not a big deal. There's nothing to worry about. It's all part of the process. We've had clients go from 0 appointments in a whole week to 19 appointments in 48 hours. And here's what's going to happen. Your stomach's going to drop, and emotionally, it's going to feel like a roller coaster. But you have to remember the stock market analogy and remind yourself that TikTok ads or Facebook ads work in trends. It's not just straight line up. Hang tight, be patient, and give us at least 1 week for the appointments to kick in before you freak out. And remember, we look at the ads every 48 business hours. We're always on it. So let us worry about it. That's what you're paying me for. You're paying me to worry about it, so you don't have to worry about it. And again, I don't really care about the cost per appointment or the total number of appointments. I don't really care. I care about our ROI. Am I making you money? I've had clients with 50 appointments get a 20x ROI, and I've had clients with 120 appointments get a crappy ROI. And in order to make that happen, your success comes down to following our system, not how many total appointments you get. Even if you went from getting 4 appointments per day 1 week and then 2 per day the next week, it does not matter at all. As long as we're hitting the promised numbers and continuing to get you appointments year after year and you're getting an ROI, that's all that matters. So with that in mind, how do you actually get an ROI? Whether or not we succeed with a system is in the follow-up and the sales process. So guys, do you see how I'm training the client? Like, I'm literally educating them. I'm setting expectations so that when they go into it, they're going to be much more likely to succeed. You guys are literally just like turning on the leads, sending the appointments, and then you're hoping and you're praying that they're going to be good. But remember what I said, most business owners suck. And then all of you guys are like, Joel, I'm getting them a lot of appointments. Like, but why is everyone canceling? Because you're not training your clients to be better business owners. You're not educating them. And it all starts with this launch call. It all starts with this presentation. It all starts with this initial call where you can really set expectations and lay the groundwork for the next few months. Then after that, you give them access to the course, to the coaching, all that good stuff. Let me give you guys another example. You know how all clients complain about lead quality? Hold on. Okay, everyone complains about lead quality. So look, I tell them, you must remember that the leads are not low quality. They are human beings, and you have an amazing opportunity to change their lives. They're just in a different state of the buying process. These are people that actively put in their name, email, phone number, and sometimes even filled out a full application over the internet. When is the last time you did that? Probably not often. And the reason why I share this is because these people want to come in and experience the power of chiropractic care, and we have an opportunity to change their life. They just haven't been pre-qualified and pre-framed for your services like leads from a trusted referral. So whereas a referral may be a 10 out of 10 ready to go, these leads that I'm sending you are a 5 out of 10 and need warming up. We got to close them. They haven't heard amazing things about you. They haven't read your reviews. They haven't spoken to a trusted referral. And then I give them examples. I do storytelling. I give them analogies. I even show them little graphs. I'm like, look, this is how you guys get all of your patients right now. So, referrals. They come in, they're excited, they sign up. Here's how an online advertising lead works. They see your ad, they sign up, but they're skeptical. They come in, they're still a little skeptical. And then after meeting you, after speaking with you, after going through your sales process, they finally sign up. So if you guys want to get your clients really amazing results, it comes down to building a course, coaching them, setting really good expectations with a launch call. And then after that, I'm going to give you guys this as well. After that, I would call your clients at the very beginning at least once a week. Call your clients at least once a week. I'm giving you guys my check-in call scripts. Literally word for word. This is how you check in with your clients. Hey, John. Hey, John, it's Joel with Atlas Digital. How's your day going? Anything like these are your clients. Like, how's everything going? Oh, awesome. Do you have anything exciting this weekend? You have kids, right? Like I try to like get to know my clients. I try to figure out what they actually give a fuck about outside of marketing. Like, why are they wanting to actually make money? Then I say, hey, the reason I wanted to get on this call is just to check in and see how things are going. I'd love to see if there's anything we can do to help or support you so you can keep having the absolute best experience with us. So that being said, I'd love to hear both the good and the bad. With that in mind, how's everything going? Like I would call your clients at least once a week. Literally I'm not going to go through this whole thing. It teaches you how to respond if things are good. It teaches you how to respond if things are going okay. It teaches you how to respond if things are not going well, but they're wrong about it. So like someone earlier asked me about how do I change someone's mindset if they have a big ego? Well, let's say they have a really big ego and they're telling me they're the best and I suck and all this shit. I say, well, I really appreciate you sharing that. It means a lot. Totally makes sense. And I completely understand your, frustration. What I'm hearing is that you feel like these leads are low quality and you guys are really good at sales. You feel like before when you guys were doing referrals, it was easy to close the leads. And now it's becoming really hard, but you guys are really good at sales. You're kind of feeling stuck. Does that sound about right? Is there anything else that I'm missing? Okay, perfect. Well, again, I totally understand your concern and we can definitely work together to find a solution for you and make things better. With that in mind, here's what I'm going to do for you. First, we have a sales course that really breaks down how to take these specific leads and turn them into paying clients. So the first thing is I'm going to send you guys that course. I need you guys to watch it. I know that you guys are really good at sales, but it would really, really, really help you guys to just go through the course. I'm sure there's going to be at least 1 or 2 golden nuggets that you will get from it, and that will help you guys out a ton. Number 2, I'm going to connect you guys with our highest performing client, who's our head coach for the program. And I'm going to have him actually review one of your calls and your process and just do an audit and see if there's anything that you guys might be able to mastermind on and that he might be able to support you guys with. So does that sound like a good plan? Okay, awesome. And by the way, here's where I would sprinkle in the expectations. By the way, just as a friendly reminder, remember how I mentioned on the launch call when we first met, these leads are going to be a little bit different from the referrals. Like I know you guys have been extremely heavy on referrals. Those leads are really excited. They come in ready to go. They come in ready to sign up. These leads are going to be a little bit different. So just as a friendly reminder, remember the iPhone analogy. Let me show it to you guys. And again, this is how I would literally do a check-in call with a client if they're having a bad experience, right? Let me show you guys the iPhone analogy. Remember the iPhone analogy. Most iPhones cost about $1,500. And what I want you to do is next time one of the online leads comes in the door and comes into your practice, I want you to see if they have an iPhone. Take a look if they have an iPhone. If they have an iPhone, they have at least $1,500. So it's not that they're low quality. They have iPhone. They have money. It's just about educating them and helping them really see the value in what they're signing up for. So yeah, that's the check-in call. If you guys want to get your clients good results, build out a course, build out a coaching program, do a launch call presentation to set really good expectations, to educate your clients on being better business owners, and then do check-in calls with them. Call them once a week. Once you have too many clients, call them once a month. Do check-in calls. Figure out what the problem is. Dive deeper. Literally use this script. It tells you exactly what to do. It even tells you what to do if things are really bad and you're not sure what to do. So call your clients every week. That's how you get them to get good at closing. Is this making sense, guys? I know it's like I'm trying to take a 7-figure business in a box and condense it in like an hour. And it's actually harder than you guys may realize because I'm just trying to give you the 80-20. Like, what are the biggest things? Creating a course, creating a coaching program, doing really good launch calls, doing check-in calls with your clients. Cool. You guys have access to the script, and you'll have access to the launch call. It's in the bonus resources, so you can go through it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you guys should read the whole thing. You guys should literally go through this, and you'll see the kind of expectations that I set with my clients, like how deep I really go. So, all right, let's keep going. Here's the last piece, guys. The last piece of the puzzle. This is the last piece of the puzzle. So we've taught you guys how to get leads. We've taught you guys how to get appointments. We've taught you guys how to get appointments that show up by connecting with them deeper, by taking payment. I've given you guys the roadmap for how to help your clients turn appointments that show up into closed deals through coaching, through a course, through setting really good expectations, through checking in with your clients and making sure everything is going well and moving along. They have everything they need in order to succeed. So why would a client why would a client leave you if everything is dialed in? Here's the biggest thing to keep in mind. Clients leave you for one of two reasons: results or the relationship. Results or the relationship. I'm going to say it one more time: results or the relationship. Those are the two factors that affect retention. It's not just results. I've had clients that have crazy results leave me. I've also had clients that get mediocre results stay for years. If your best friend is your client, it's going to be harder for them to leave you because they care about you. You have a strong relationship. They don't want to let you down, and you don't want to let them down. If Isaac, let's say that I told you, hey, let's meet up for coffee or for dinner, and then I just completely disappeared, wouldn't you be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, disappear on you.
You'd be like, what the fuck? I thought we were friends. Like, what's going on? Imagine if we've like met one time and I cancel on you. Would you, or like we said, hey, maybe we should do coffee one day, and we've never actually met and we don't really have a relationship. If I don't show up, you'd be like, whatever. Right.
Yeah. And it's especially important during the early stages of like relationship building. Like later on, after you guys have met like 100 times, if a meeting's missed or whatever, it's like, whatever. But during those initial phases, like the first interactions are crucial.
Relationships, guys. That's half of the results. Isaac, have you had clients with crazy results leave you?
Yeah, of course.
Have you had clients with mediocre results stay?
Yeah, too many.
Guys, I'm telling you, most of you guys are putting all the weight on the results bucket. Results are cool, but if your relationship sucks, they're going to leave you. You essentially want to get to the point where you're kind of like good friends with your clients. So how do you become good friends with your clients? That's really the question here. How are you setting expectations? Are you doing a launch call? How are you maintaining those expectations? Are you checking in on your clients just like you would check in on a friend? Like if I meet you for the first time and like we're getting to know one another in a weird way, that's kind of like we're setting the groundwork for the relationship. So you want to set the groundwork for the relationship with your clients. Then after that, like if I want to become friends with you, I'm going to text you, I'm going to call you, like we're going to link up. You guys want to build a relationship with your client, you have to check in with your clients and you have to set really good expectations. Then after that, are you rolling out a red carpet experience? Are the 30 days flawless? Is there any gap in communication? Did you get them quick wins, which I'm going to show you guys how to do before we go? For example, let's say you guys go on a date and the date sucks. You're going to be like, screw this. I'm not going to go on another date. Like the first impression really matters. You guys need to treat your first 30 days like a first date. It has to be fucking flawless. It has to be perfect. You can actually mess up a lot more later on if you have a flawless first 30 days. What I noticed is if I retained past 1 month, I retained for like a year. So like my retention rate on average was about 8 months. But what's fascinating is that if I got them past the month and they got into month 2, they stayed for a long time. The reason it actually boiled down to 8 was because I lost some people on month 1. And the average ended up being 8. But what we noticed is that if we can get people to 60 days, it's game over. Just like if I start hanging out with Isaac as a friend and then he keeps bailing on me, I'm going to be like, dude, fuck this guy. I'm not going to be friends with him. First 30 days matter a lot. Again, do you have a community for your clients? Weekly Zoom calls, eventually Facebook group, coaching. Do you have a course for your clients breaking down how to actually close? Are you supporting your clients with sales? Are you giving them materials? Are you creating a space for them to do role play? And then this is really advanced, guys. But eventually, you want to create an identity for your clients to follow. Eventually, you want to create an identity for your clients to follow. How do we do that? We interview our highest performing clients. Like, yo, look at Dr. Eric. Dr. Eric, let me see. Look, Dr. Frederick went from 15 patient visits a week to over 160, 10x growth in 1 year. Imagine if I interviewed him in front of everyone else to talk about his 10x growth. Or what about Dr. Eric? Atlas Digital has helped surpass our goals in how many patients we could help in a week, about to hit 300 a week. They're seeing 300 patients a week. Imagine if I did the 300 patients a week masterclass and I interview him in front of all my clients. What happens is I'm giving them an identity to follow. They're here. They want to be like Dr. Eric now. And what happens is I'm also showing them, hey, Dr. Eric showed up to the calls. Dr. Eric asked for help. Dr. Eric gave it at least 90 days. Dr. Eric followed our process to a T. Then everyone else is going to want to be like Dr. Eric. You guys eventually could add in awards for your clients. You could add a belt system for your clients, like a black belt system, like in karate. If you do this, you get a white belt. If you do this, you get a yellow belt. If you do this, you get a brown belt. Like you guys create a system like that for your clients. So for example, first appointment that you get that shows up, you get white belt. First appointment that you close, you get yellow belt. If you close 10 patients, you get brown belt. If you close 100 patients, you get black belt. So you guys create a roadmap for them to attach their identity. They're literally like, oh, I'm a white belt. They're attaching their identity to the results, to the progress. I'm a black belt. So awards, and this is really advanced. That's why I'm not going too deep. Awards, belt system. You could even do sales competitions for your clients. One of the ways that I'm able to get so many freaking results from Agency Lab for my students is I get them to compete with each other once every 90 days. And then they're like, holy shit, I need to win. And they're like working extra hard. And like, they're like, I need to dominate. You can create competitions for your clients. And you can give them awards. So these are all the different things that you guys can create to have really good results in relationships. But again, I know this is a lot, so I'm going to break it down one more time. Build out a course that you guys can do. Build out 2 coaching calls per week. 1 all hands in community call, 1 sales training call. You're going to need to find a coach for this. For this, you're also going to need to find a coach to help you build it out. And honestly, some of you guys can innovate on everything that I teach you. Like, you know what no one else has done? I've never heard of anyone paying someone in their niche to create a course. Remember what I told you guys the first time? Innovate on everything that I teach you. Innovate on everything that I teach you. I'm going to say it one more time. Innovate on everything that I teach you. I'm telling you guys to go find a coach. Fuck it. Maybe you guys can like go find one of the most highest performing auto detailing companies in the world and be like, hey, can you create a course for me and I'll pay you. I'll pay you $1,000 for it to create this course for me. You guys can innovate and like do things like that. So build out a course, implement the coaching calls. Implement the launch calls, implement the check-in calls. That should be your first phase until you guys have 50 clients. That's enough. If you guys do coaching, if you guys do a course, if you guys do launch calls and do check-in calls, that gives you enough to work with until you have 50 clients. Once you have 50 clients, then you're going to need to start doing more advanced things like building out a community, building out award systems, building out black belt systems, things like that. So I think this is the hardest one to teach, guys, because it's not as simple as like, look at this high level sequence or look at this script. But I think once you guys have enough clients, it becomes easier to execute on it. Cool. Let me show you guys the Google review campaign and the reactivation campaign, and then we'll open it up for like 10 minutes of Q&A. So I showed you guys this. Remember I just mentioned flawless first 30 days. Here's how you guys can create a flawless first 30 days. Just got to find it. Is it not in here? Oh, here we go. You guys can run this Google review campaign for your clients. This is an email blast campaign. It's not a text blast campaign, but you could also run it as a text blast campaign. So I give you the text and the email. We literally just used to do emails. You guys can do this in the first 30 days to help them blow up their Google reviews and get a shit ton of 5 stars. And then they're going to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I freaking love you guys. So just follow this. What you would do is literally get their list, their email list, and then upload it to HighLevel or Active Campaign and then blast it out. So you have all the emails there. The other thing that you guys could do in the first 30 days to really create an amazing experience is run a reactivation campaign to reactivate their leads. So you would get access to their entire database of phone numbers and run this reactivation campaign. So it's in the Google Drive. I'm not going to go through it. You guys have it. You would just plug this into HighLevel and do a text blast. Or in the case of the Google reviews, you would plug it into HighLevel and do an email blast. If you guys did that the first 30 days and like literally before you even run the ads, they already have 100 5-star reviews that are new. They're going to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love you. This is amazing. And they're going to believe that you're really good at marketing. They're really going to have way more conviction, which again, remember, what's the number one thing that increases closing rate? It's conviction. So if they believe in your system, if they believe in you, they're going to attack the leads with way more conviction. with way more belief that it's possible. And if you set expectations, the launch call, guess what? They're going to be like, I know exactly what I need to do. If you check in with your clients once a week, they're going to be like, holy crap, this guy's literally following up with me to make sure I do my shit, to actually call the leads, to actually get results. And then if you give them the resources in a course and create a coaching program for them, that's how you destroy everyone. That's how I won with Atlas Digital. That's how Hermosi won with Gym Launch. That's how Matt Shields is winning with Estate AI, the real estate agency. They're solving all of the clients' problems, not just leads. That's how I'm winning with Agency Lab. I literally do 25 coaching calls a week in that program. I'm going to end on this note, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. If you haven't been paying attention, guys, I know that we've gone on for a while. This is a golden nugget for you guys. This is a golden nugget. I want you guys to suffocate your clients' excuses. I want you guys to suffocate your clients' excuses. I don't want them to be able to complain. I want them to not be able to speak of any excuse. Oh, you suck at sales? Well, we have a course for you. We have a sales training for you. I can literally connect. I literally just did a masterclass last week with someone that closed 300 patients a week with our system. I'm following up with you every single week and you're not picking up. So how is this on me? This is on you. I'm trying to help you. I want to suffocate their excuses. They're like, oh, these leads suck. Okay, well, let's listen to your calls. Oh, you haven't been using our script? Why haven't you been using our script? You essentially want to be able to corner every single excuse with all of the value that you bring to the table. When people come into Agency Lab, my coaching program, people literally are like, if I don't succeed, it's on me. That's what you want your clients to feel. If I don't succeed with your agency, it's on me. They're doing everything in their power to help me. That's what I did with Atlas Digital. I want your clients to be like, yeah, it didn't work for me, but that's because I didn't put in the work. That's what I want them to say. And you know what would be even better if they said, oh, the system works, I just didn't put in the work. And you know what? They actually were on top of me every single week to make sure I put in the work, and I still didn't put in the work. If your clients say that, then you've won. You're going to retain as many people as possible. The leads don't suck, guys. The business owners suck at sales and they suck at business. Help them get good at business with a course, with coaching, by setting really good expectations where you're educating them, where you're telling them, hey, this is what's going to actually be expected for you to win. And then by checking up on them and holding them accountable. What was the first thing I did when we started this workshop? What was the first thing on day one? We went over mindset. I warned you guys, this is going to be hard. I was setting expectations just like I would with my other clients. I literally set expectations with you guys so that you're more prepared to actually go out and crush it. So anyways, that's it. Guys, I need like a 2-minute break. I'm like losing my voice over here. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a W. And I'm gonna you can find all the resources in Thomas's Discord or my Discord. All right, I'm gonna take a 3-minute break and then we'll do Q&A. Just raise your hand on the Zoom chat and I will unmute you. Just if you say something dumb, I'm not letting you back on my Zoom calls ever again. You're banned for life. You're canceled. Officially canceled by official Joel Kaplan. So I'll be right back.
By the way, by dumb questions, I think he means moaning. So don't be scared to ask questions. It's really just don't orgasm when we unmute you. Yeah. If it's like real though, then it's fine. Like if you actually have a moment when we unmute you, maybe it's okay. Like that's, once in a lifetime sort of thing. But in general, no. I would start the Q&A now and answer some questions for you guys, but so a lot of you are gonna have questions for Joel, so we'll wait until he gets back. We'll kind of just chill here for a second.
All right. Let's see here. I got 10 minutes of Q&A, okay? Just give me 1 second, guys.
I'll answer the solar question. For solar reactivation, number one, obviously just send out a large text and email to everybody. But you can offer, like, we're gonna give $1,000 off for the new year for people that purchase solar panels within the next 2 weeks. I've seen those offers work well in solar. There's different ways that the client can frame it. But money off the installation is a proven offer in solar.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's start with I think Cameron had his hand raised first from what I saw. So here, I'm going to turn off the unmute. Hold on 1 sec. Cool.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, Joel. So from your experience, because obviously I'm in like a similar niche to chiropractors, what would you say is the optimal time to kind of call the leads? Because I've been calling them at about 10 in the morning, then about 7:30 at night. Now, I'm not sure if it's because it's so close to Christmas, but I've been struggling to get responses from nearly any lead. Now, I've generated about 16 for this client at the minute. I've only had 1 booking. And there's a lot of people I'm going back and forth with, but I'm struggling to kind of get in contact with them.
What do you mean by going back and forth? Like, you are talking to them, or?
So I'd call them. They then call me. I wouldn't be available. Some of them are calling me at like 4 in the morning for some reason. Some weird leads.
States?
No, they're from the UK, same place as me. But yeah, they'd call me, or they'd say they want to be called at a certain time. I'd then double dial them at that time, and they'd never respond. So yeah, I'm just finding it quite tricky to kind of get a hold of them. So, I was just wondering from your experience, how would you kind of combat that? Would you just continue to follow up with them, or?
Yeah, I would try to. So you guys are texting?
Yeah. So I've got like the workflows in place that's texting them from day 1 to 5, and then it's day 16 and then day 30, and then I'm calling them from day 1 to 5. So pretty much similar to what you were talking about earlier.
I would just keep dialing them. If they're already responding to you, I would just dial them twice a day forever. If they're
right, all the way up till day 30. Or
but here's something to keep in mind though. This is really important. Business works in like there's seasons in the UK, right? And there's winter. Yeah, there's definitely seasons in the UK. There's spring, winter, summer, whatever. Business works the same way. Business is seasonal. So like January, February, Q1 is insane for business owners. For like, you guys are about to blow up Q1. Closing agency clients November, December is tough.
Right.
Like holidays. Q4 for service-based businesses is awful. Q4 for e-com is amazing. Q1 for e-com is not that great. Everyone already bought everything that they wanted to buy for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, for Black Friday. So business is also seasonal. I think maybe you're just experiencing some of that. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
was
normal.
thinking that.
I think it's
I was.
normal. I think if you're having this issue next month, then I would worry about it. But I think it might just be seasonal. Like, no one is thinking about going to a chiropractor right now.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking that, to be honest, because we only started running the campaigns about a week ago. I got the first patient booked in the first day. Then from there, it's been kind of a struggle to get a hold of people. And I was thinking mainly it's probably because of Christmas and things.
Yeah, I think it's normal. There's natural seasons in business.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I appreciate that, man. Cheers.
All right, let's go to Connor Chang.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, Joel, I was just wondering, in regards to like lead nurturing, would concept like calling the lead 6 times total, like 3 double dials throughout the day, be too much? Or like you think just doing it once a day?
Remember what Isaac said. More is always going to get more response, but you're also going to get more people pissed off. So it's like it's a catch-22. There's more good and
It's a
there's more
trade-off.
bad. It's a trade-off. Yeah.
It depends on the client. Like if you have like a hardcore, like we have this mortgage broker from Texas, and he told us, he was like, I don't care how many of them are pissed at me. I want as many contact points as possible. So we hammered his leads, got him super high contact rate, and also got a decent amount of people pissed off, but he closed like crazy off of it. So you kind of have to see what type of client you have. Most of them fall somewhere in the middle, just like, pretty much the sequence that we have sent over, and then what we talked about is like a good middle ground.
All right, for sure. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, let's go trying to go to some new people. Sophia.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. So the question that I do actually have for you is because we are thinking of changing the niche. So we started out 2 months ago with solar. We've got 3 clients signed on, but I don't think that 2 of them are gonna stick. So basically, we had like a super low reaction. They didn't came to the appointments we booked for the clients. So our percentage is less than 20 for clients actually coming up to the appointment. So my boss actually thought, since this is like a high ticket niche and we spend a lot of money for the ads, and the price per close deal was super high for us. So we are thinking of changing it to maybe coaching or gyms. So we wanted to see your thoughts on it.
You just need to get better at business. Like, what makes you think that you're not going to have the same problem with coaches? What makes you think you're not going to have the same problem with every other niche on the planet?
The reason
niche,
even maybe
I say this with love, Sophia. The niche never sucks. The business owner sucks.
Yeah, I mean, because let's say
pretty
we
intense.
have.
I'm telling you, I've seen. Don't niche hop. You have clients. Solve the problem in your niche. You're gonna face the exact same issue with coaches. You're gonna have to face the exact same issue in every other niche that you could possibly imagine.
Coaches are way harder, by the way.
Coaches is actually going to be worse. I'm telling you.
Thank you then for that. Thank you.
I've worked a lot. I've worked a lot in solar, and I've worked a lot. I run a coaching company. It's going to be worse in coaching. Your niche is not the problem. I think you need to spend more time trying to solve the problem within your niche.
Yeah,
awesome.
you have to.
That with love.
You have to figure out where the holes are.
I just actually wanted the confirmation for this, just to reassure my boss that we should definitely stick with this, because I even like more solar.
Every time you switch your niche, it's like you switching your business. So like, it's like you asking me, hey, should I change businesses? Like
Yeah. Well, thank you for leaving us on the same path that we wanted to be at. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Guys, I actually realized I do have to go now. Isaac, I don't know if you could do an extra little bit of time.
Yeah, let's do another 3. I have
Joel, real quick before you go.
No, I
wanted
gotta
to
go,
fol-
guys. I
I
gotta
wanted
go.
to follow up with you on our last call. You said you're going to ask one of your students about their average CPL. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, guys, I have to go. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I just have an appointment. I forgot. So I definitely have ADHD and I'm working on not being late to everything in my life. So hold on,
Liam,
you
follow
host.
up in the Discord.
Or just
oh.
ask Isaac. Isaac knows more about CPL.
I didn't know the answer actually.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Let me just make you host. All right. Hopefully when I leave, it doesn't end it.
Yeah, we should be good.
Love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have to run. I'm so sorry.
Thanks, Joel.
Appreciate all of you so much. Keep crushing it. Don't be like that guy at the beginning, and you'll go out and crush it. All right, peace.
Cool guys. I'll do like 3 more. I have unsettled. I'm in a war with FedEx right now. I'll put it that way. So I have to go figure that shit out. Mayor, is that how you say your name?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so I got a question. For a new ad account for a client, how would you warm it up?
Just start off slow. Most clients' accounts will be fairly stable. I would start at like $10 a day for the first 48 hours. Then for the next 48 hours, you can go like $20 a day. If everything's looking good, $50 a day, starting day 3, 4, 5. Most clients don't scale tremendously past that. So you should be pretty quickly able to get your client where they want to be at.
Got you. And in terms of because I was in the last call with the 8 ad set method. Let's say the niche is more towards like women. Would you just do like a 4 ad set method for that?
Yeah, but also you can split out the age ranges. If you're only doing one gender, now you can test the age ranges. So you can do like everyone 25 to 34, residents 25 to 34, and then do that for all age ranges. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew, you can go ahead.
Hey, man. I had 2 questions. One was, would you suggest like the complete done for you model where you are calling the leads yourself, booking them in, and you're essentially trying to handle everything? Or do you suggest that we do this kind of course route and you never try to take on the full closing procedure?
I wouldn't try to take on the closing procedure. You can take on the getting people booked procedure, like calling the leads and getting them booked. I would wait a couple months. The done with you is, I mean, it's still all technically done for you, but the quote unquote done with you is easier to start, because for the done for you, you have to have like a well-managed call center, which is like way harder than it sounds. Like you have to have like a power dialer that organizes all the leads. You have to have an inbound system that like shows which client the inbound lead is calling from. Like it's a whole setup. I would learn your niche. I'd spend like 6 months doing it with the clients, and then you can figure out how you're going to build out a call center, because you got to hire callers, the whole thing. But eventually you do want to move towards it done for you, but it's after a while.
Sure. And my other question was, what's your guys' approach in terms of handling clients that want to leave? Do you try to keep them on, or how's that approach?
Yeah, I mean, I personally, it's more of a Joel question, but I would have a conversation with them, see what the falling out was, see if there's anything you can give them to make them move forward. We usually do is lead with carrot, then lead with stick. So see what you can offer them. Going forward.
Where I'm currently at is, I know I can keep them on, but I think Joel highlighted that the bell curve, and I do think they're on the low performer side. So I'm wondering if I should even bother or not.
It just depends how much you like money. I mean, personally, like we kept on a lot of clients who were a pain in the ass just because we wanted money. So it just depends how much you want money right now. Really.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Liam, was that KPI question your question, or did you have another one?
Well, it was going to lead into my second question, which was, yeah, because, well, Never mind. I guess it all does kind of answer. But I guess I'm dealing with, like, I have some people that I guess they're just like not communicating. Like I'm reaching out, like I'm doing everything on my end. I'm texting them, sending them videos, like doing everything that I really can. And some of them just aren't in that communication. So obviously there's not a whole lot that can be done there. Anything that you would say else beyond that?
I mean, yeah, that's a okay, that's more of a Joel question, but in terms of like, I try to establish those touch points, like send them a long text, be like, hey man, I'm trying to make this work for you. You know, we're really not going to be able to get your leads converting if me and you don't have a conversation here soon. Just want to make sure you're getting the most out of, you know, what you're paying. You know, ultimately, if somebody completely ghosts you, you can't really do much about it. I've called clients from different phone numbers. You can use Google Voice to call from different phone numbers if they're blatantly ghosting you. But yeah, ultimately, if they don't want to talk, like it's hard to help them.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Vincent, what's up, man?
Hey, Isaac. So I had a couple of questions. So first of all, I was asking about the paper show, like how you would structure your pricing. So how exactly would you be able to actually track who shows up if it's not just on your system?
I haven't done paper show personally. It's a very difficult offer to set up and establish. It wouldn't be the first thing I would go with anyway. Yeah, I honestly wouldn't even do it. But there are systems. I have not set those up personally.
Okay, and also I asked you another question. It was a bit earlier about high ticket versus like a low barrier entry offer for gyms.
I mean, high ticket is like 1,500, right? You're talking like 1,500 retainer, right? Higher.
No, I'm talking about like the actual offer for the gym, like how the gym gets their clients.
Oh, I mean, everything has to be low ticket on the front end. It's a value ladder. So for the gym to get their clients, it has to be, you know, free 7-day membership, you know, try one of our classes for free. You know, whatever it is. All offers pushed through Facebook for clients have to be low ticket. Upsells are where the money's made.
Yeah, because I know like Gym Launch, they do this thing where it's a 6-week program. It's like 600, 700, and that's what they do as a front end offer. So that's
Yeah,
why.
but they don't put that on the ads. That's sold in person. Like they don't put $700 on the ads, right? Like, hey, pay this and we'll give you this.
No, it's like a free 6-week challenge.
Yeah.
And like they book the appointment, they get them to show up, and it's basically the same process.
I would copy that exactly.
So like a high ticket?
Yeah, high ticket with low ticket lead in, like free or whatever it happens to be.
Okay, and my last question is what questions should I be asking you? Because from your standpoint, it's like I'm in a maze, but you have like the eagle's eye. So I just want to get a better understanding of what questions I should be asking you.
It really just depends on where the holes are in your business right now. Like, are you closing clients? Are you getting meetings for clients? Are you losing clients really rapidly? That's really I'd have to know those before I could give you any advice.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, ultimately break down your business in terms of what, you know, if you're hitting KPIs, like, are you closing enough clients? How much are you paying for acquisition? Then you'll know where you need to fix things. Andre, what's up, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. So some clients told me that they have worked with agency before and they did like the whole Facebook ads or of that stuff and they didn't really get any results. What should I say? Like what should be the best response on that?
Closing questions are rough for me because I don't really close anybody. You have to have elements of your system that are new, or that you can at least present as new. You can talk about, lots of people just generate leads, but we actually have this follow-up system and scripts that allow you to not only reach way more of the leads, but also convert them into patients. And if you're running conversion ads, you can say we train the pixel. I always say hype up your services 20% more than what they actually are. So you know, you can be like, we train our pixel to only, you know, target the highest intent patients to come in, but you want to have a couple elements of your system that you can present as novel or new to the client. And usually you can figure out what your client needs by asking. So you can be like, you know, they generate enough leads, but let me guess, like you couldn't get them through the door. And then you can tell them like, you know, what operations you have in place to help get them through the door. Whatever it happens to be. Just figure out what problems they had with it, and then say, here are our solutions for those problems, basically.
Yeah, I also thought about maybe doing, instead of Facebook ads, ticker ads. Do you think that would be a better way?
Yeah, it actually isn't really different in terms of results, but they will view it as something new, so you can hype it up like that. Yeah,
Right. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonas, what's the good, man? I have to head out after we do Jonas, but what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Isaac? So currently I got a client, right? Who like I've been training a lot in terms of like sales and stuff. Like I've hopped on like 3, 4 different training calls with him just to help him with sales and shit.
Yeah.
Because like he's been doing terrible, right? Like I'm getting him lots of leads, I'm even giving him like leads that are actually vetted, like that are actually interested, right?
Yeah.
And like every time he hops on the phone with them, he like completely botches it, like completely all the time. Like it's like everything that I tell him just goes out of his like other ear and doesn't like stay in his head.
Do you have a script
Wondering
for
like
him?
how do I like fight this or like combat this problem?
Do you have like a written script for him?
Yeah, I gave him like 2 different scripts, objection handling. We even went on like 3 different training calls.
And he doesn't follow the script?
I mean, he tries, but like for example, on one lead he called yesterday, he gave him 2 different prices because he got nervous. Like I'm just wondering, like how, like
I mean, there is a bell curve. I don't know if you were on the last call where we talked about
Yeah, I
like the
was.
bell curve. I mean, there's a bell curve with IQ. There's a bell curve with clients who can make it. Some people are just not meant to make it. You can only help them so much. Like if you can only help them so much. Like if he's going off script, or if like going off script he completely just collapses. Sometimes they just need more reps. But if you're helping him, you're giving him scripts and he's getting reps in and he's still failing and there's no sign of improvement. I mean, if he wants to keep paying you, awesome. You know, keep collecting his monthly retainers, but ultimately, you know, clients are lost. So you do lose some clients over time because some people just aren't meant to make it.
Yeah, awesome. Also, I had like another question in terms of ads. Like how long do you give it for like an ad set or like an ad campaign to consider it like a failure in terms of like time and budget as well?
Yeah, let it reach 2x your KPI. So like, let's say normally you're getting leads for $10, right?
Uh-huh.
The way I structure it is if it doesn't get a single lead within $20, I turn it off. So let it reach exactly 2x your KPI, and if it has no leads, turn it off. You can even have automated rules that do this depending on if your account is quick enough at reporting the leads in the actual ad account. But yeah, 2x KPI, then turn it off.